The risk of loss trading any financial instrument can be substantial. You must be aware and willing to accept those risks in order to invest. Don't trade with money you cannot afford to lose. This is neither a solicitation nor an offer to buy or sell any financial interest. No representation is being made that any account is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to the ones discussed here. Past performance is not indicative of any future results. Any strategies discussed are for illustrative purposes only and are not to be construed as specific advisory recommendations. This material is for educational purposes only. Okay, I'm making a video for a guy this morning. We're going to talk about trading in the mornings. Here was the question that I received. Looking for suggestions. I'm wanting to trade from 4 to 7 a.m. Let's see. Wondering what others are doing. Divide by 4. Okay, I'm just going, there's the question. I'm going to show you some things about 4 to 7 a.m. Okay, right here within the trend arrows tool right here, TraderBot Marketplace, CX New Trend Arrows, here are the settings. Right here, make sure everything lines up right here. Now between 7 or 4 to 7 a.m. Let's see, 4 to 7 a.m. Let me change the parameter to make sure we get 4 to 7. That's 3, so 4 o'clock would be 11. So I need to go in here and say 11 a.m. to 1400, which is 3. That's the time frame. And the reason that I don't put it, 4 to 7 is because it's going off the MT4 time. So if we look back here, we can see the mornings that have a trade signal between those times. Right here, it's just 1 bar expiries right here. Some mornings they come out during that time, some mornings they do not. And you can see that here. What we're looking at here is what is the win rate over the past 50 trades. Well, it's at the money, it would be 60%. Now, you're not always going to be able to line up an 8x strike exactly where that 60% is, but in the money by 3 pips is a 76% win rate. Out of the money by 3 pips has a 40% win rate, and that's expiry. If you're looking for just touches within the hour, you can go in here and instead of expiry, you can use touch, like if you want to buy an out of the money trade. I would not use this on 1 bar for in the money trades because with this amount of data, this may not be accurate if you're using the touch mode. Touch mode is only for out of the monies. So it touches 3 pips up within the hour 82% of the time, 6 pips up 62% of the time, 9 pips up 46% of the time, and 12 pips up 26% of the time. If you want to look and see, well, what if it makes a pullback, or what if it goes to a certain level and then reverses, you can go to use touch and retrace. Okay, touch and retrace right here is, it will show your percentages for if it touches a certain level and retraces. 92% of the time, if it comes down to this in the money level here, it's not going to close below it. So for an at the money trade, if it comes, that might be something to do, but it doesn't happen very often. I mean, you might have to wait for, like here's one that came really close to it. But let's see. I'm trying to find one that did it. Well, you can go back on your own and do that. Okay, anyhow, you can go back on your own and do that. Just use the parameters. However, it's not going to hit it very often. if I want to see how often it actually expires above that point, I can go in here and just use expiry. 96% of the time, it's going to expire above the outer strike here, which is 12 pips down. Okay, this is on the Euro USD, but we don't want to just check one currency pair. Let's check different ones, such as the USD CAD. Now, the USD CAD moves differently. It doesn't move in the same fashion that the Euro USD moves, but you can still see the percentages. They're not as great. What about the USD Yen? The USD Yen looks just fine. The trades, they may come out this morning, but they may not. But you should get a trade about every day if you want to use this method. Let's look at the Euro Yen. Euro Yen looks just fine as well. Now, one of the reasons that the win rate is lower is because the Euro Yen moves more. So if it moves more, then that means it's going to expire, OTM more often on smaller pip ranges, simply because it moves more. So let's go check the touch and retrace. See, okay, look, touch and retrace on the ITM on the fourth level is only 69% versus what, 90-something% on Euro USD. Now, oh, wait. But the touch mode, let's look at the touch mode. How often does it hit certain levels? Well, it's not that great on the Euro USD. On the Euro Yen. I don't like it on there. We're going to go look at other ones. Pound Yen. Now, Pound Yen, I like. It's got an OTM touch, 12 pips out in 1 hour of 66% of the time. It's lost a max of 2 times in a row, and it's hit that level 8 times in a row. So that might be something you want to look at. So if you're looking at it and you want to take the trade, here's how you can do it. Okay, when the trade comes out, it's going to be right here at this. If you've got your parameters set to custom interval from open, and you got your custom interval set to 3 pips apart, or whatever, however much you want to put them apart, the trade is going to come out whenever price hits right here. When price hits right here, boom, it's going to fire off a trade. 66% of the time it goes all the way to level 4. I know that. So if I had my tool set to this parameter, maybe whenever a signal fires off, I want to go ahead and buy an out of the money and just close it when it gets to 50. Same here. This one came down, fired off right here, went all the way to level 4 before pulling back. Both of these pulled back. Here's one, fired off, went to level 4, and then pulled back. This one expired way beyond level 4, and I can't see this one because I don't know if that's I can't see the wick. Both of these went all the way to level 4, so this one went to level 4. So if you're looking to buy out of the monies during this time period, that might be something to look at. Look at the Pound Yen. I don't know what the pricing is. If you want to switch the parameters here and go, 5 pips out, or 5 pips for each strike level, you can see that. About half the time, it will go 5, 10, 15, 20. It'll go 20 pips within the hour about half the time. So you can see that right here. It's 46% is still. I got tongue-tied. It will go less often all the way to the out of the money, but it has lost less consecutive times in a row. It's won 6 times in a row over the past 50 trades, but it's only lost 4 times in a row over the past 50 trades. And for out of the monies, that's fine, you know. Or if you want to, you know, see just expiries. It's going to close above this line right here 60% of the time, and it's lost 3 times in a row for an at the money, but I don't know if you can get a strike right there. Okay, like right here. Okay, it won right here. Okay, now it lost below the at the money strike here. It lost here, and it lost here. So it's done a maximum of 3 right now. Do we know if it's going to go to 4? I don't know. I have no idea. But it's lost a maximum of 3. Let's check the past, let's say 100 trades and see how many times in a row it's lost. You don't want to get into doing like checking the past 2,000 trades because the market changes. But the past 100 would be fine. Okay, it's lost a maximum of 5 times in a row over the past 100 trades, but it's got a 50-50 win rate right there. Not great. Doesn't really give you an edge. But for the touches, over the past 100 trades, here are your probabilities. It goes 5 pips 80% of the time. It goes 10 pips 61% of the time. It goes 15 pips 45% of the time. And you can see the probabilities right here. How often did it expire in the money on an ITM trade? $83 of the time. That's 20 pips within the hour. It's lost a consecutive twice over the past 100 trades. So there's some probabilities for you to look at. You can even look at like the Wall Street 30. Now the Wall Street 30, I've got this on an hourly expiry, and 63% of the time it finishes profitable at the money. Okay, 93% of the time finished profitable at the money within the hour, and that's 20 pips down or 20 points down. Okay, right here, here's one. But you know, this is at 4 whatever in the morning. This one right here was at this was at 4 in the morning. This one was at 5 in the morning. So you know, you can look at it on you know, say an index, or let's look at gold. Now gold's going to be different. I have to change the pips for that. Hang on a second, because they're so small. Long trades only. All right. Now gold, over the past 39 trades, because it doesn't go back that far, but over the past 39 trades, it does not have a good at the money win rate. Doesn't do it. It's got a good in the money win rate, but at the money, nah. It's no good, and out of the monies are no good either. So I'm going to look at touches for a second. And this is long only, by the way. Touches are still no good. They've got really low percentages. So if I was going to do anything, I'd be doing this in reverse on gold. Hang on, at this particular time of day. Let me look at touch and retrace. Now, if I'm going to look at a touch and a retrace, that means that I'm going to sell it. If it's giving me a buy signal here, let me make that a little bit bigger. There we go. Let me see if that's too big. If it's giving me a buy signal right here, And let me make that bigger so you can see it. All right, here we go. If it's giving me a buy signal right here, that means that I want to sell this if it's got these types of percentages, because, or, you know, let me look. I don't know. I might buy it down. I might buy it or sell it at the OTM level 4 up here, because it's 100% over the past 39 trades. Nothing is 100%. Okay, but the higher it moves, the more likely it is to bounce off that level and come down. I can see it right here, 83%. Something's nope, looks good. Everything looks good. So if I'm going to look at this for gold, I'm going to look to not necessarily trade it against the signal, because it's got a good bounce rate down here as well if it pulls back and moves up. But I would only go with the last one down here at ITM level 4, and I don't even know if there's a price for it. But this is how I look for trades. I look and I find out what particular time of day that I want to trade. You know, if I only want to trade in the mornings, that's what I would use. So, oh, and this is for long on. Let me look at short. Hang on a second. Well, short looks better for gold. 1 bar expiry. You'd have to go in here, but I don't really like shorting gold. I do it, but anything. Okay, here's the thing. I want to draw a picture. This is the way I look at the markets. Now, I'll short all day long, but okay, in Forex, it's different than other things. In Forex, you can move up, you can move down, you can move up. There's no top, there's no bottom to it. I mean, it can go on and on and on. There is no top or bottom to it. But on commodities or whatever, you're going to have a floor. That would be called zero. When something goes to worthless, you can't if it's worth a penny and you short sell it, it cannot go below zero. So I have what's called a long bias for anything long. I have a long bias for anything that's actually real. A currency exchange rate, that's nothing real. That's nothing tangible. Gold is tangible. The Wall Street 30 is tangible. It's a bunch of stocks mixed up together. An index, it's tangible. Silver's tangible. Natural gas, it can't go below zero. You know, things like that. So I have a long bias for commodities and whatnot. But anyhow, okay, I've taken up 20 minutes of your time. Right now, I'm going to finish this up. I'm just going to go look at things that a lot of people don't trade, such as I don't even know if there is a strike for it or a market for it. But here's the China. I've never traded this, so I don't even know what it's called. All right, the China one, no good. Japan. I'm just looking. Okay, you might want to try it on let's and I don't even know if there's like a strike out there for it, but a 1 bar strike between 11 and 14. That's 4 to 7 on my platform here. Yeah, it looks fine too. Looks good. I want to look at touch and reverse. Yeah, I'm only going in the direction of the signal here on a touch and reverse. I'm not going to short it after it's moved up so far because percentages are not high. I will, if it pulls back, I'll get into it, you know. So that's what I'm looking for. Let's look at oil. Keep messing this up. Use expiry mode. Yeah, we'll use expiry mode. Okay, wait, that's a touch and long short. I just want to look at expiry. Okay, oil looks fine too. However, on oil, maybe I want to hold it more than one bar. Maybe I want to hold it for about 12 hours. I want to get into the trade and hold it. That's got an OTM win rate of 60%. What if I'm only long? I want to see what this is. Okay, no, hang on. I want to look at short. Well, over the past 14 trades, it's finished OTM 71% of the time, 12 hours out, which is, and it doesn't come along very often, but, and that's short, Let me back it up. Let me see if I can make sure that these are not screwing with my head. Okay, back since August of 2015, I've had 44 trades, and 68% of the time it's finished OTM as you were shortening it. Now, oil's been dropping. Everybody knows that. But I still have a long bias toward it. Hang on. Okay, oil's been dropping, since August right here. And it's giving it a higher win rate. Again, I still have a long bias right now. Right now, oil's at like 44, so it can't go to zero. I mean, if it goes down, it can only go to zero. If I do this, it can't go below zero. This is the bottom. So that's why I have a long bias. But if it's showing me a high win rate, you better believe your rear I'll short that sucker. Okay, there's my little 2 cents. I hope you gained something out of this video. If you did, leave a comment or a like or a share, or you can see me in the Facebook group, or here, I'll show you a couple of things here. Here's my Facebook group here. Facebook.com/groups/Joaquin Trading. You can also find out the tool that I'm using here at TraderBotMarketplace.com. Let me fix my screen. There we go. TraderBotMarketplace.com. We go through and show you a little bit about what we do here, blah, 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 blah. You can click here to see the things that we offer. You can click here to see some more stuff. It's a great place. If you're looking for signals only for Forex and binaries, hopefully pretty soon, you can go to JoaquinTrading.com. That's my first little business. I'll probably have it till the day I croak. It's just a small band of misfits that trade the market every day. There we go, and you can find out a little bit about us here. You can see, results and all kinds of nifty stuff. So, there you go. I hope you learned something from this video. I will talk to you next time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.